Here we are.
That was cool. That was very cool.
We can finally hear each other.
Nice. Refreshing.
How have you guys been?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
How was
Turn up my volume?
How was the hospitality in the green room?
Oh, it was excellent. The best service.
Good.
Kohler.
Thank you for the red pepper hummus
Oh, it's literally the least I could do.
and neutrals, which are very nice as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we were trying really hard not to be offensive here, so.
I'm not at all.
Got it. So we are joined this evening by I billed you in my write up as anti-establishment icon Corey Eisner and legendary Nova Scotia punk rocker Liam Frierer. How do you plead?
Yeah, definitely guilty.
How you guys doing tonight? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. It's a Saturday night
with the quarantine schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the quarantine schedule. Like, my idea for this was going to be just like everybody stuck at home on Fridays anyway, and it would be like, originally it was like my whole idea was like half hour, like Wayne's World, Space Ghost, but it's like you got to write those shows.
Space Ghost.
You know.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I thought it was really awesome when you told me about it.
I'm gonna move this way.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. There are a few different layouts we could try for this. Like that. My headphones and glasses are not a totally comfortable situation. But
Is my audio
glasses here in case I need them? And
there's this.
Kind of set up here.
All right, I'm the overlord in this situation.
Okay, can you hear me well though? Do you need more of me in any way?
I can hear you perfectly. Now
Perfect.
Liam is.
I think Liam could be a little louder.
I think so too.
I'm
I
a
think
little
Liam could be a little
off the
louder.
mic, so that the camera had I'm just sort of a compromise of the space here, but let me crank the gain.
Please
I love
give
it,
us
bro.
more gain.
There you go, and you let me know. I can change the cardioid pattern, maybe.
That would be beautiful.
I'd
I'd just like to hear it happen.
Room,
I don't.
a whole room space.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Too.
I don't. I was gonna say I don't need it, but maybe I just don't know that I need it. You know?
Right,
you want to
right,
hear
right.
more of the ambience.
Yeah.
Or the ambiance. Pardon me.
Right. The ambiance. Yes.
Garage.
Last week I ran my mic through, like, because I thought my voice coming through the dry, like, Facebook audio was really weird. So I ran my mic through a couple of guitar pedals, and then it just sounded bad. Like, I put it through
thick, but
yeah, no, it sounded thin. I said, like, I had a compressor, Dan Electro compressor pedal that I bought for $10 on Kijiji.
Nice.
And
yeah, fantastic.
it's like fine on the guitar. You can hear the radio on it.
There's some pretty cheap but decent gear. I'm not much of a gearhead for the amount of music I play, but I've like picked up some Dan Electro shit for like really cheap on Kijiji that ended up being well worth it.
Yeah, I really like to be honest, the radio pickup thing is the only bad thing about it. It's kind of a bummer because like it can be cool, but sometimes
is it like picking up like radio signals?
Yeah, you can't turn it up too loud or it'll like it comes through the speaker, through the amp.
I bought a wah pedal on a whim once that did the same thing. It was a Zach Wild model wah pedal that I bought for no reason at all. Like I don't.
What else would you be playing? What else would you be playing?
Yeah, and I never used a wah pedal. I never used it, but it would pick up every time you pushed it forward into like the wah. It would pick up radio frequencies, and even if I used a 9-volt, I thought it was just like an adapter thing. It just made it like pretty unplayable.
Yeah, right. It's like because it's like kind of a cool when you first discover that it does it. You're like, whoa, this is cool. Like I'll like pipe in the radio into my set, but it's like you don't want it to do it every time.
Yeah, no. It's like a NASCAD student graduate project.
Well, it would just be like because it could be cool if you had it to do only that. But I remember I got this thing and I was getting into it because I had heard like you're supposed to use a compressor with a Telecaster, and I had one. So, but I was like playing System of a Down. Like I had my brother-in-law was trying to sell this like Fender Twin amp, and I had it in my living room at our apartment on Livingston Street because he lives in PEI, and like figured he just would have a better chance of selling it in Halifax. And this thing is just huge. Like it's so loud. It sounds amazing, but like the compressor through that, it like sounds cool until like you can't shut the radio off.
Yeah. Just can't stop the tunes, bro.
Yeah, can't stop the tunes, man. I was kind of bummed too. I have two good stories about that setup. One is that I had a drum student who was he's 42 or something, Dean. And we both like were free in the morning, so like he would come over and jam out. We played Rockin' for Dollars when it was at the Marquee during that like window, and I think it was his first show ever as a drummer. And we did Misfits, Where Eagles Dare, and Rage Against the Machine, and Led Zeppelin. We did Killing the Name. Yeah. What Zeppelin song did we do? The Ocean.
Okay,
and on the first day, like I just got that amp there, and he suggested that I plug it in because it had just been sitting in the corner. And he came over. He's like, "Whoa, you have a twin?" I was like, "Yeah, is that good?" And he's like, "Oh, it's amazing. I used to have one." And it was the first nice day, so with the windows over, playing Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name at like 11 in the morning, and someone called the cops on us.
They didn't even call you.
That's what Zach De La Rocca would have wanted.
That's
right.
yeah,
totally.
Outcome. The man shut us down.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice amps. They're beefy, though. I lived with a guy who had a Fender Twin, and just like being poor as shit in Montreal and not really having necessarily like money for cabs and stuff. And sometimes schlepping a Fender Twin it had wheels, but still like going a couple blocks with it was like awful.
Yeah, I bet, man, because
So
it's
beefy.
huge. Yeah, you're right. This one was a custom 15. He bought it for a pedal steel guitar, and so it had one 15-inch speaker.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Oh man, yeah, but like super heavy. Like you.
I guess the amp is still
roll it
there.
down the street.
Yeah.
And,
Corey, you have that really beautiful. Is it Trainer? What's your big boy? That's a lovely.
The AC-15 or Corey.
Yeah, I have it's like a 73, I think, or 72 Trainer Mark III. So it's like a twin speaker, but like 4 inputs, big old beefy tube amp. It's behind me right now.
It's lovely.
Cool.
It's a nice sounding amp.
I've never recorded with it though on an album, I think. Or no, maybe the Hollow Body one I did because we used electric on that. But otherwise, it's always just like sitting in my room, or like Liam's been playing it before quarantine.
When my amp breaks, I make him schlep it to gig.
He makes me bring the giant amp, but I have like wheels for it, but I haven't attached the wheels to it yet. So I don't feel that committed yet to the idea that I would be a guy with an amp. But clearly, I think I can accept it now.
You're an amp guy.
Corey, I'm gonna switch our configure. I just had like a weird moment where I thought that like the view that I was looking at is I have two. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's like the pre-screen and then the real screen.
Yes.
In the one that I was looking at, Liam was the biggest of the three of us, and that's what I thought like the kind of dynamic was. And I couldn't see your amp.
Well, it's not really in view. I mean, unless I stood up and point the camera down at it. But I mean, I can show it to you if you want. Yeah, because it's a beefy boy.
And you get that nice custom grill.
Let me see if I can get this guitar the way.
Yeah, give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Is it vintage?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it from a guy. Let's see if I can
That stripe.
Most of it there, but I added that tiger stripe to it because I wanted to be really funny about it because it didn't have that. I just added that over the grill. But yeah, it's from the 70s. I got it from a guy down the back.
You felt like it wasn't capturing your inner Keith Richards as much. I
was significantly bored. But no, really, I found that print. It's like this almost spandex, ridiculous kind of like tiger skin print, and I was like, oh, that's got to be. I got to do something with that. And eventually, I just committed to putting it over my amplifier. But I really haven't. We played a show, I think, at Liam played it when we were at the Rock Record. What's the record place on Cottages Street, Liam. Hop Yard, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I brought it there for him. That was like in the winter, like February or something, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice amp. She's beefy.
She's beefy. It's really sweet. Plays
High
well.
volume amp.
Those were the days.
Yeah, back when live music was a thing that you could do.
When do you think that'll happen again?
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, it wouldn't be hard for us to like put on a show and just be like out in a field somewhere, and that way people don't have to come near us. But beyond that, I don't know in terms of like having people in a bar or anything.
There's a little bit of it happening here. Like there's one guy I know is playing. He also books these two bars, but is doing like playing solo and like table 6 feet apart or whatever. And the Sussex Drive-In is having a show.
Yeah, and so they're sort of the same thing in maybe the Valley would do a similar concept, but like it's not environmentally friendly, but I guess nobody gives a fuck about that anymore.
No.
It's
people don't unless they need to, right?
Yeah,
people don't care about anything unless they need to.
Might be a little offset by the fact that things are opening up again now, but by and large, people haven't been going places. Been staying. I've been a full-on hermit, and I'm bloody loving it.
Yeah, well,
it's funny. There are a lot of things I like about it. I have kind of mixed feelings about it, to be honest. I thought I would like it more than I ended up actually liking it.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what I thought. Like, never have to leave the house, huh?
And as the weather is getting nicer too, it's going to be a lot harder to. But things will open up, and maybe we'll get a second wave, and they'll have to clamp it down again.
Yeah, exactly. The new flu season concept will just be like mask season. I feel like that's what eventually is, in the next year or so. It'll just be like, oh, it's October.
Yeah, right? That's crazy.
You gotta start wearing your masks everywhere.
What's the mask situation in Nova Scotia?
Excuse me.
Do people wear them a lot?
Yeah,
good amount of people.
Totally.
But Canadian Tire yesterday. A lot of masks.
It's like, in terms of the numbers, yesterday was the first day they had no deaths and no cases. But at the same time, the popularity of people just getting used to, I think, wearing masks and having them available is making them more prevalent as well, even if there isn't high numbers, I guess. But it's I'm trying to imagine like how they would try to regionalize something like that, and they can't really apply that tactic, I guess. So
what do you mean?
And I've also not been in the city, Corey. You've been in Halifax the whole time. I've just been making the odd trips into my apartment to make sure it's not burnt down. And,
Liam, you've been vacationing?
Well, I've been in the country at my generous girlfriend's place out in Hants County, where I am now. Well, yeah, just being off the grid a little more.
I'm teasing you.
It would be that would be a good place to be, I would think.
It is, yeah. But I'm curious as to what the vibe in the city is, because when I go in, it's just for
spooky
to run
now.
an errand or two.
After dark now.
Yeah, now it's after dark, baby.
Yeah, I've got a different light.
I have a bunch of lamps, and I was just playing with the idea of what I could do with them, basically.
Yeah, I've got a shade on there.
I do have Allison as one of the LED ones that you can change the color with your smartphone.
Oh, but
right
the
right
tone?
Now I got a Christmas tree going on. I don't know if you guys can see that.
That kind of color.
But,
no.
I have a backup light, is what I'm saying, and I can do custom tones.
I'm gonna turn this back on.
That's flattering. That's a relief.
It's a relief print.
Go to the phones for a minute here.
Yeah. I didn't even know you had that option. I forgot about that. I forgot about how we were in high demand. Oh man,
this is like 95.7 in Halifax.
Well, in terms of talking about the idea of like liking it or not. Yeah, I honestly coming because the last 2 years of doing 22 minutes, we would finish at the end of February, and I would literally go on to EI in the beginning of March. So I was expecting to go on to EI and not do anything at least for 2 months, and then maybe see what happens with the summer and just be playing more music. So that's the only
go on record with that.
Thing. Yeah, I know, right? But but I've been doing exactly in a way what I was probably going to do, and now I just have more time to focus on that, which has been like photography, just going on a lot of walks around the city, and then writing a lot of music. Well, not music, writing a lot of lyrics. Yeah.
You've been getting some stellar shots, Corey. I thought the
Oh,
recent
thank
one
you.
of
Yeah.
Point Pleasant Park in the sky
Oh,
was
appreciate. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you've enjoyed them.
that was really
Some
No,
cool,
really nice
man.
cityscape ones too that I saw. You're doing some more
yeah,
urban photography that was really cool.
totally. It's like that. It's like I have the time to kind of throw myself into only doing that. So why not? It gives me the practice to be better. But yeah, it's been working out. So, like without me necessarily. It's great because I haven't been forcing anything. I guess in my mind. Well, the songwriting was forced, but then it eventually came natural.
But you're pumping them out. You have almost a whole. You have
We
10,
got
10
got
completed
10,
new songs with lyrics and
10
everything.
completed. Yeah,
Crazy.
totally. And they feel good. They're new and they feel different. So that's the idea for the summer is like if we can get back together, we can just start recording and playing music together in Halifax. Focus on an
That'd be
album.
nice.
But like with the boys, do like a big pink thing since they basically have turned their house into a recording studio.
Yeah, that's nice.
Right. What is can you guys just like hang out normally indoors as long as you're less than 50 people or like that kind like is that on the horizon?
I'm curious about that because it's sort of. I assume that like social distancing is just a thing that they want to keep enforcing, but I mean, eventually they would have to either restate that they will keep doing it or not, right? Because otherwise, it's sort of like, yeah, we don't have to touch each other, but
No, and that like that's not what you're looking for necessarily. I'm not going to say across the board. I'm not going to make that decision for anyone, but that's not the idea there. But that is true. Like that's a thing you could do.
I mean, there's like it's a weird situation. Even I was trying to like even imagine like what are all the people moving and all the people that move every month that move into new spaces. It's like, do they quarantine moving into a new house? Probably not, even though or a new apartment, even though they're around all of these other new people that they weren't around before. And that's not really a thing that anybody's talked about. And so I assume that in a way, there's just leaks in every part of this concept of like, here's what we want you to do. But at the same time, there's all of these things that we can't really give you an exact ruling for.
Totally.
So it's
And
like,
it
what if
just,
I just move into the house for the summer? Then I'll be fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Because then I live there.
Right. And it also just kind of goes against basic human nature, too, of like, I will happily stay in the house for a week, but at the end of the week, I want to go somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's the difference that I found.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially for like the 5 weeks of summer that we get
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
every year, and people tend to like hit it pretty hard with the socializing and stuff. Oh man, it's gonna be rough because like, I mean, this has been beaten to death, but like the tourism and hospitality industries are I mean, the hospitality industries are already
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really, really suffering. But we rely so much on tourism, especially in rural Nova Scotia or the Maritimes. Period.
Yeah, totally.
I think we're going to see a lot more businesses going under. Unfortunately, it's like it's rough, and it's never. It's not going to be the chains, right? It's going to be the local mom and pop.
Yeah,
I read a
like,
statistic recently that was like 90% of independent venues in the U.S. could close.
Oof.
which is
rough.
totally
Yeah.
wild. Because like.
You think like 10 months with no income or whatever.
Oh yeah, and it's such a fickle industry anyway to have a restaurant or a bar.
Yeah.
You live month to month. Your margins are tight. The turnover and failure rate is so high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just the novelty factor too, right? Of like, there's always a newer place once your initial run is done. To to keep people come through the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Some places seem to be able to do it, like Salvatore's, like has got something figured out where they're just slammed every weekend forever.
They have their corner of the. Well, I think they're like the high echelon of pizza quality, but they're not like the wood fired like Sicilian style pizzas. But as far as like a place you can call up and get a delivered pie, it's like it's the best. Like Salvatore is the best for like your classic pizza, I think. So they got like their little carved out niche.
And they're like a clear, like higher, I don't know, you say like higher tier product or something than the competition nearby. Like everybody else is doing like the basic slice, and then these guys are innovating.
They're not quite like the artisanal like
pizza corner operating.
They just I think their sort of identity is really established. It's like this is the best damn pizza you can get if you want a friggin' pepperoni pizza with extra grana padano or whatever.
Oh, I know,
Oh,
or
man.
like a cheese and onion pizza somehow is like the best thing I've ever had.
Oh, it is so good though. I miss living around the corner from there.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, they were
Still
perfectly lucky in terms of the idea of just being a business where it was already takeout set up, and it's like been takeout forever. Pizza businesses, if anything, if they kept going, they were lucky enough because they were the only things that already were ahead of the curve besides the drive-throughs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been to
I don't think not
McDonald's in
having a
months.
dining room, it's not going to hurt them the same way it's going to hurt a lot of restaurants trying to adapt to being a takeout model, or like even when we open back up, having social distancing protocols.
Exactly.
Hurt a lot of places.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, how are people going to even have the concept of servers? Because you're not going to want to interact with anybody. You're just going to want food or drinks directly to you.
That's the thing that I read an article about.
Unopened, yeah.
Well, yeah, like, are you going to want food handed to you by a server wearing gloves and a mask? Like, that is better, but it's weird.
The optics are weird.
Yeah.
The optics are weird. Why did you go out for that experience?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like, it shows they're at least taking it seriously in a cursory kind of way.
Well, yeah, because their job is so high risk. Like, they just are exposed to so many different surfaces and, like, tight quarters and all that.
Well, that's what it
might be
forces.
like
different people's mouths, you know.
No, go ahead.
Well, just I think like restaurants and entertainment, like venues, it's kind of an escapism anyway. And not that people should not be thinking about social distancing, but it's like you finally get to go out for a bite to eat, and then somebody comes up wearing a hazmat suit, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's totally.
Is this worth dying for?
Yeah, exactly.
It's real again.
It's real again. Like, sure, there's ambulances driving around all the time, but we've learned to block that out. It's going to take some time.
That's weird. Like, and as short-sighted as I think, like everyone is as a society, especially like as things open up, and we'll be like, too bad, fuckos, back to business.
Yeah.
I do think that probably some things will be a little changed, like you mentioned.
Yeah, forever
during flu season and during. Maybe less hugs. I don't know.
Yeah, like
less hugs, more drugs.
Yeah,
more drugs, but unfortunately, more drugs leads to more hugs.
Depending on the type, or just like pawing, right?
Yeah, so you put them in it. Get your own bubble, boy.
I wish I could just like make my pupils dilate. I'd love to just be like, "What's your name?"
Don't touch me.
Do it on command.
Yeah,
there. Yeah, maybe those like bubbles that people can like go on the ocean with, but otherwise they just crowd surf with. Maybe those will become really popular. And unfortunately, you'll have to have more fields, but then people will just be in their own plastic bubbles, metaphorically and literally, at these festivals.
Or like the Zorb things or whatever.
The Zorb things. But it'll be too hot. I mean, you'll have to have a festival in like the winter. Maybe that's what'll happen. Winter will become cool again. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's weird.
Are we supposed to be spitballing ideas? Is this what this is?
I'm just thinking about like when was winter last cool? Like, can you describe for us the slump that it's in?
I think it was the 1998 Olympic Games where Ross Ribliati lost his gold medal for smoking weed after he won it in snowboarding in Japan.
Would you say that's a cool moment or an uncool moment?
I think that was both cool and uncool because he was uncool that he got embarrassed, but then he got the medal back. So ultimately,
I didn't know that he got it back.
He's a fucking snowboarder. Of course he smokes weed.
Of course.
Yeah. And now he's
more impressive. It's not performance enhancing in that regard. It's like
no.
He should get an extra tenth of a medal.
I know he's smoking up blood after the race, like
as he does a McTwist.
Yeah.
Takes a big old hit.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the last time winter was cool. That or whenever that Quebec festival that I've never been to happens.
Like with the Bonhomme?
Is that what it is?
The Bonhomme Carnival.
Yeah, totally.
What's the they do like the crazy like it's like the XFL of skating. They have that crazy like luge track that they skate down in hockey skates and they can check each other and shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I have seen that.
I've only ever seen
not just speed skating, but like
no, it's like
they're like wearing
derby.
hockey shit.
Contact,
yeah, roller derby on skate. Totally,
that's pretty cool, actually.
Look it up; it's crazy. They move really fast. It's like it's a Red Bull thing too. Some sort of games. X Games hockey race. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't even know what it's called. This probably hasn't been a thing since like 1998.
So you went to the callers. There were no callers, I guess is.
Oh no, there were
I wore a
none. And
collar.
then I decided I wasn't gonna let that be my vibe, you know.
Rats.
Yeah, I know it is a funny thing because I haven't it's the show has kind of ended up being thrown together the last few weeks, and it also is funny in that like it's different from the podcast in the way that like for the podcast for me, I listened to so many episodes of WTF and like a couple of different ones that basically were the same idea. It's like you talk to somebody and get their life story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a bunch of those, but it's like, you're recording it and it doesn't come out right away. And it also is like, it feels like more like a private space. Whereas like this vibe is very different. Like that's not what you're looking for necessarily on a video on the internet at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Like it's like it's a different feel. But anyhow, I did.
They can see us.
Yeah, I did want to keep the tone or the idea of, I guess, the original thing because I don't have skits written. So Corey Eisner, you recently made headlines with some pretty controversial statements about the music industry. Care to elaborate?
I don't know what headlines you would mean. That there's no newspapers anymore, so I don't think anybody. If anything,
We've all
the article,
seen the headlines. You can't hide behind that.
the article had a certain title. Yeah, maybe I was too candid for the Maritimes. Maybe they can't handle that kind of.
Who in the local music industry do you feel needs to be taken down a peg?
Taken down? Oh, what do you mean? There's not enough paper to write that many names down. Yeah, do you want a list? I'll give you a list.
I'll burn any bridge, but I have to be cognizant of the fact that I'll might be representing other people, not just myself.
First we'll start by burning the bridge to PEI. We don't even have to worry about that. And then
it's made of concrete, buddy. Some friends of mine, this is a true story, had a summer job cleaning the inside of it one year. And they like
inside of it.
Yeah. And
what is it? How does it get dirty on the inside?
It just was never cleaned when it was built. So they're like service tunnels, but there's just like I don't know what is down there.
I definitely know that you can like walk or like there's basically a tunnel that goes the entire length of the bridge underneath the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good job,
inside.
but once you get to PEI, you got to you got to pay the $50 to get back home to New Brunswick at the end of the day.
I don't know if they would charge you to walk. You can pay to take a shuttle across as well. I feel like it's like $4.
I wish you could almost file a human rights complaint against the idea that you'd have to pay to avoid incest. Basically, it's like, wait, you mean if I don't have the money, I have to stay here and eventually deal?
Corey Eisner makes headlines.
Those are some controversial words, my friend. I don't know if you want to be saying that on this show.
It's after dark. This is after dark quality content. That's all.
It all comes out.
I've seen the logo.
I'm just reading from the cue card you sent over earlier. And all the
I had an innocent tale about my friends who worked there. They just would play hacky sack all day.
At the bridge also?
Inside the bridge, yeah.
Inside the bridge?
Yeah, they had a radio. They just would play hacky sack.
Man, sick. That is like, wow, that's a great scene that you would expect to have in like a TV show or some sort of movie. It's just people playing hacky sack inside the bridge.
You picture like That 70s Show, like when they're smoking weed thing where the camera spins.
Yeah.
And we can laugh, but that's a fairly pandemic-proof industry as far as I can tell. Like, maybe I need to consider getting a hacky sack in the bridge sort of job for this summer until this whole thing blows over.
Well, the hacky sacks are definitely hands off, so unless you
play killer hack, bro.
Yeah, it depends how good your team is.
Yeah.
What do you call that? What do you call a circle of people playing hacky sack?
What? Can't wait.
I was trying to think of something like a ballroom.
There's I mean, it's basically a commune at that point.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
A squad.
Which is our next goal.
Pleasure
This is our
squad.
goal.
A squad of
goal.
hackers.
A squad of hackers.
I was asking Jane earlier whether she thought that brunch squad would be a cool name for like a, I don't know, just like your group of friends.
Instead
The
of
brunch
lunch squad.
Oh,
The brunch
yeah.
squad?
Brunch
That's
squad.
not. That's already a name that every Karen has given her friends.
That's what I'm saying.
Brunch squad.
Brunch squad.
I signed up for Canva. Have you guys used? Do you know what Canva is?
Don't
No.
know what it is. No.
It's like a graphic design thing. It's like free on the internet.
Uh-huh.
You can. There's just like pre-made kind of templates for all different kinds of designs, and so you just put your own words in or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But one section is T-shirts, and I was like, I kind of thought of making demotivational T-shirts, and I was like, I could just design them on this thing. But the actual T-shirt designs that are in there are always, they're like choose your bliss or like #squad or like. I just couldn't believe like the like
Is
how
hashtag squad-
consistently bad they were.
Is #squad the new live, laugh, love?
Yeah,
is
I hope
like
so.
I will
that's
say anyone who
basically
like, especially. I don't want to racialize it, but like when my white hippie
That's a
friend
good
or someone
idea.
I know on Facebook has like #squad goals underneath the picture of them
Yeah.
just like, doing something vaguely fun with their friends, it makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
like,
I
Oh,
believe that.
I
like
don't know. It's hard for me to even articulate what's so gross about it, but it just really rubs me the wrong way. Squad
Yeah.
goals. It's like you're playing volleyball.
Yeah, that's all I can think about. And like, I would be forgiving if they were playing volleyball and like their squad goal was a great spike. It does not seem like any of that. #squad goals, great spike. Like,
Squad goals. We went to a beach.
tournament winners.
I'm
Yeah, if anything, it
Checking
seems
the
like
lines. What are people
I'm trying to
saying?
sign
Oh,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to sign into it here to
have
find
people
some
already
Canva slogans for you.
Corey, it blew up
Just
after
talk
you made
amongst
controversial
yourselves.
statements
Yeah.
again.
Yes, I
Wait,
guess
it
I
needs to
should.
be. It's like it needs to be Twitter. We should be on Twitch doing this.
I'll inform all.
Hey guys,
of
get on the
two
YouTube stream
people.
and we want to see everyone saying #cancel Corey.
Yeah, thanks, please. Yeah, basically. Oof,
Put Eisner
yeah,
on
I
ice.
No, it was. If anything, I was surprised that there was positive feedback because I just would assume some people. I'm sure there's 75% of the people internalized it deeply and have a resentment to me, which is great because I love that. And then the other people that did like it were just like the people that I will now have as real friends. So it's great. I mean, if anything, it's divisive, which is perfect.
I like it that as your music starts to tend more towards the rockier side, away from folk.
Well, now that you've heard it, yeah, totally. You've heard the
Bad
new
boy
tunes.
persona.
Bad boy Corey is
That's
just
right.
like I gotta talk about things. Things have to be talked about.
That's right.
Bad boy folk.
Buck Cherry. You could open the Buck Cherry show if they make it back to the marquee.
Oh. Well, all I can respond to that is "Whoa, Black Betty!" Like, no.
Okay, so we've got Strong and
I love it.
Beautiful.
Liam's video is just frozen. It was just frozen as you having a beer. Just that was.
I also would like to preemptively apologize. We've been having more internet problems. Well, it went from 0 to multiple times a day over the last few days. So if I am cut off, I will quickly make the jump to my phone on data and hopefully jump back in. So sorry.
So
Oh
kind.
right, I forgot you were having internet problems.
Yeah, I usually don't talk about it.
It sounds like marital problems.
That's, I know. Is that something you normally know about your friends? Like, unless you're
I have
over at
ID.
their house.
Whoa. Liam, I didn't know you were going to bring that up on the show today.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
So how long have you and your wife been having internet problems?
I've been having ID for a while, but you know what? I've decided it's worth talking about, and there are hundreds of men and bras like me, bros all over cyberspace, who need someone to speak up and to be a Pied Piper for the cause. So I don't mind being the face of that, and
the cause
I'll
is
take
again
the accolades, but
So
ID,
you're on the
internet function.
Oh, right. Internet dysfunction.
Your dysfunction. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, I'm stupid.
The inability to get a really solid connection.
To get a really
Connectile
strong,
dysfunction.
firm connection.
Just
pardon me. I'm gonna plug my laptop in. It's low on the battery.
Wow.
I cleaned mine with contact cleaner today, and I thought that I had fried 2 chargers when really just the contacts were dirty.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Believe it, it really happened. This is real life, man.
This is my story.
Wait, did something happen?
So Ryan, have you been? How are things on the music front? Are you still managing to play a bit, or is it all in a bit of a downswing like it is for most people?
It is.
Or like recording and stuff. Like obviously live shows aren't happening, but
yeah, I've been recording a bit. I have one new song. My brother's putting out a compilation, which is coming out in June. And I like speaking of Buck Cherry was on my mind because it was like a song that started as a joke. Because he wanted to like do songs that had been written in quarantine, and I had a few, and one was like sounded kind of like a country song, and one is like a ballad, and one is like and whatever. Like I'm not a experienced enough writer to be post genre necessarily, and also like to have a style like your style ends up being whatever like your version of being able to express it is, I guess. That's like not exactly but you know what I mean, like the way that you sing, the way that you play guitar, the way that you do whatever,
totally.
That ends up being your style no matter what you're doing. But anyway, and I was like, I don't know, do you want a ballad? And he's like, or there's like, oh shit, I have this like punk tune that I forgot about. And he's like, oh, that might be the move. But anyway, so it's a minute and a half long, and it's like, it was like a power chord kind of jam, and then I was like just like made up lyrics that were like making fun of Buck Cherry, and then I made it into a tune. Anyway, so yeah, I got a song in the can. First time recording drums in my basement, which they came out sounding pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't see your music room when I was there, but you've got a little space down there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The guy who built the place, I think it used to be his office or something. There's like green shag carpet down there.
Yeah, I saw the little video.
Said it used to be Zappas.
Zappas.
Yeah, it used to be Zappas.
Yeah, it was his studio. Yeah, Frank lived here for a bit in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like it sounds pretty dampened by the carpet.
Yeah, it also is like I don't need it to sound amazing. It's like kind of a sloppy, dirty punk tune anyway. Yeah. And like I like that kind of sound. I like it to sound trashy. So as long as I can get like some low end. I've been using a Zoom R16, so it's like it's a thing that you can record to an SD card, but I'm using it as a recording interface. But I've got 4 mics on the drums, plus it's got 2 little built-in condenser mics on it, and I just turn them both on and then pan them hard left and right, and so it gives you kind of a room sound, and then just punch up the drums.
Is it like one of the little Zooms with the condensers that are like X and Y?
No, this one is
like a hard disk recorder.
It's like a hard disk, like you know those Boss machines?
Yeah.
It's like the same kind of idea.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds pretty decent, and it's like pretty cool what you can do with home recording.
Yeah, totally. I'm looking forward to that thing with because Jason, he has an audio engineering degree, so I haven't really seen.
Amazing.
I heard what he's done basically through the little projects that he had.
And who is this, Corey?
Clients. Oh, Jason and Jonathan Barkhouse are the 2 twin brothers that we play together with as a band, and they live here in Halifax and have been backing me up.
And you
Liam, who am I? Nobody.
Enfield bad boy, Corey Eisner.
No, that's the other Corey Eisner.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's got to be annoying.
No, I mean, well, there is another. He is another. He drove race cars, so I mean, he's much more of a bad boy than I am.
Oh, funny. Yeah, there's a couple Ryan Browns. There's one in Summerside and there's one here too.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
And actually, speaking of Zappas, there is like RyanBrownDrums.com, which I thought about like signing up for at one point, is already taken because this guy who plays for Dweezil Zappa, that's his website.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No
Amazing.
way.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dweezil, I mean, he came to Halifax a few years back, or it was probably like 10 years now, but
was it Zappa plays Zappa?
Well, yeah, that was what I was about to ask. I think, like, is that his whole shtick? Not shtick, but, like, is his career sort of doing his dad's tunes?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, I don't really know either. But so this drummer would have been there.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was asking the other Ryan Brown.
Oh, oh yeah. ZPZ is pretty full time, bro.
Yeah.
Could you?
Yeah, ZPZ is 150 dates a year.
Wow.
Yes. Jesus.
That's intolerable.
I do know that that's what they call it. I don't know if they say it like that. I've only seen it written.
Zappa. Oh, Zappa plays Zappa.
ZPZ.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, it's not like a sort of virtual reality hologram kind of soccer game thing that they're involved in then. I have nothing to play on the topic. I have no jokes.
Nah, Corey, spin out.
I haven't been to any of those cover bands sort of big. No, I haven't been. I don't think I've been to ever like an official cover band of another band that's done like a big show tour.
Well, I went to see Thane Dunn, an Elvis impersonator from, I think he's from Moncton or from New Brunswick. He did a Christmas show at the Astor Theatre in Liverpool a couple years ago, and my family and I, we usually do some sort of cultural thing in the weeks leading up to Christmas. Go to Neptune Theatre or to the Symphony or whatever. But we were like, we sort of went there like as a laugh, thinking, or just like, you embrace the cheesiness of the whole thing. But holy shit, if it wasn't one of the best shows I've ever seen.
He's serious, man.
He's awesome. He is awesome. And Elvis is amazing. I don't listen to a lot of Elvis, and we just sort of went there, like had a few drinks, and whatever it is, it will be, we'll get our entertainment value no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But he's pretty unique. I mean, I don't know a lot about Elvis impersonators, but he plays himself. He doesn't really play Elvis. Like, he does
That's
the
what I
shtick,
was
but
gonna
he's like,
say,
he's Thane
right?
Dunn, and he's fucking awesome. And he has his suit made by the same. I think he's the only Elvis impersonator that has the suits made by the original tailor that made Elvis's suits. And he changes halfway through the show, so he's the rhinestone cape and shit. He's two.
Does he have the guy too? My favorite. So I used to work at Imperial Theatre here in St. John, and he would play there every year.
Sure, I bet.
But the one time I caught part of the show once, but my favorite part was there was this dude in like a track jacket that just said Elvis, who would like come and like give him a sip of water after every song or every couple songs. He had like shades on and like an earbud. And like
his whole band all have long blonde wigs on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, funny.
And it's so good. And he even and people go nuts for it. And we were down in like Queens County, Nova Scotia, so like people are probably coming all the way from Caledonia. Just come see things done and beyond. But he's like dabbing himself, like dabbing his sweat with a towel and throwing it into the audience, and people are like scrambling, kind of like fighting amongst themselves to get the Thane Dunn Elvis sweat towel. It was so cool.
It's dinner theater, right?
That's
or
what
is it
I
dinner
heard.
theater?
Like, I used to sell tickets at
awesome
to shows, and his like they get the VIP section. It's the first 5 rows or whatever. And then, like, the old ladies would, like, I had someone tell me on the phone, I was like, well, the front row is sold out, but I can get second row. And she's like, what? If you're not sitting front row, what's the point of the VIP? You sit up there so you can catch a scarf or something. Like, you try to catch the scarves.
You can sketch a scarf or something.
Thane Dunn doesn't, he gives love to the VIP, and I think they get, like, a meet and greet thing, too. But he'll chuck his stuff back. It's not first row getting all the love.
Yeah,
but anyway, it ended up being awesome, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was
so good.
I recommend everybody go see Thane Dunn.
Oh, that's fun.
He's placed very highly in international Elvis competitions.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, he was a straight shooter. He'd call us up, and he would always sign off on the phone. He'd always be like, "All right, stay cool, man."
Nice.
I loved it. I felt cool when he said that.
Yeah, you're like, I will. I didn't know I was cool, but I will.
Oh my god,
cool.
He thought it was cool the whole time. Wow.
Let's try that. Being cool, huh?
Wow, yeah, I am staying. I'm cool right now. Yeah.
I didn't even know it. I had the power the entire time.
Or I'm non-verbally responding yes to a "Would you like another beer?" gesture.
Nice.
Sorry to break the fourth wall there, everyone. But
oh my God, Liam has people around him.
All right, let's go to the phones, folks.
Delivery dog. Yeah, let's go to the phone. Wow. After that last comment.
Liam Fryer makes headlines with defense of Thane Dunn.
Or we can go to oh man, and some of them are just, I don't know. I hope they're coming from a good place. There's like Living My Best Life. There's one called Art in Progress. One that says Comfy White Tea.
Art in Progress. Oh my
Different is
God.
good. Would you wear a shirt? Like this is
Different
like,
is good?
Would you wear that shirt?
Wow. I mean, yeah, because they're beyond broad. Like they're
I'd rather
him and
men's
too.
How about Believe in the Good? It's like sure, yes, genuinely, yes.
Who doesn't? I mean,
it feels like it has like pretty deeply Christian undertones.
That may be. Okay. How about Go?
Which is not good or bad. I'm just saying, like it feels like it has
it's like if you taste something that you like. Yeah, if you taste something you like to eat, and you like it, are you like? No, like Believe in the Good makes it like you gotta hold back and not even enjoy things, or it's like I just even haven't had a jelly bean. Like I don't know. The Believe in the Good's ridiculous.
Oh, I just think it's like you gotta just believe. What about a T-shirt that says "Just one more episode, please"?
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Just more.
I'm down for that.
Or how about Make Today Epic?
Ooh, and what? So obviously the word "epic's" probably going to be underlined, and it's a different font.
Yes.
What font are we talking here?
So the first two words are like kind of a teal. I think that's teal and maybe aquamarine. And it's Make Today. It's like kind of this greenish color, and there are stars around the words, and so they're like kind of bubbly letters, kind of comic. But so Make is capitalized, Today is not, but the entire word of epic is pink and capitalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are stars. I don't know if you can see. Like if I hold my, oh yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have my endorsement, sir. That's great. Well, this is
it's weird because it's. I mean, if you're wearing the shirt, it's telling other people to do it, right? Like you, as the shirt wearer, you're not responsible at all for your own day. You don't give a shit. It's not. It's like, I mean,
as long as everyone else does their part, you're covered.
Yeah,
you're already wearing the shirt.
Well, yeah, and wearing that shirt arguably is definitely not something to make your day more epic.
It's
so the shirt.
I think it's making the biggest difference because if you can wear a shirt that you walk down the street and influence everyone's behavior in an epic way.
So you're saying the shirt is making the day epic as well.
Oh, it's like having your personal like epic ray that you can just point at people.
They've gotten to you. It sounds like they've gotten to you. Big T-shirt has clearly gotten to you. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I like that it's bright and sort of has a childlike wonderment to it. With the font and the little like sunburst kind of lines around it, it's just like it's positive and bright.
Epic, all right, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Cut you on the head. Hey, buddy, get up there and just be epic, huh?
Okay, how about this? Be you.
Wow.
To full. It's all one word.
Okay.
Hang on. You is in a different font. Be you to full.
To full.
Be you.
Be you to
Is
full.
to full on the back of the shirt?
No, it's all like one word. Can I show you?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So it's like, okay.
Sorry,
hang on. More. Oh, now it's, hang on. Maybe now I'm zooming in.
And you got a copyright
I know, this is such cheap entertainment.
No, it's great.
And
it's like it was such a good idea that somebody snatched it up.
It's like the amazing thing is like we can do anything through technology, and now I'm like sitting here watching my phone load. You know, like
he's learned a lot.
It's everyone's best life to live.
Nothing yet. Oh wait.
Oh yeah. That's great.
Ew. No, that's terrible.
That's a custom jobby.
You.
Oh, well, you could just print it.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I don't know, Liam. I can't understand if you're actually behind that or.
Not this time.
50% of respondents polled think it's a good shirt.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm trying to.
It's good because it's positive.
Okay, hold on. I'm being given something from Offset. This is something that my girlfriend has in her kitchen.
Oh my
god! Corey's mirror image and doing a bad job.
Oh no! Oh my god!
But it's not exactly the same, and I bet
it is exactly the same. That's exactly
the font's different, and it's not the heart, Corey. So
oh, sorry. Okay, you meant the word exactly as literal.
It also is not something that you wear.
It is.
Not yet. I'm gonna put it on like Flava Flav. I'm gonna have a chain.
You should. That'd be great.
Instead of the heart, it's gonna be a clock.
Why is the heart in there? That adds an extra level of complication.
Well, no, it's an extra level of self-love that you would do well to include in your life.
Oh, okay.
Or do you have positive affirmations and mantras that you say to yourself in the mirror for 45 minutes every morning?
No, never. Why would I do that? I'm not. What? That's the dumbest thing.
Maybe you should dispel this dark cloud that's been following you around everywhere, Corey, that just makes you spread all kinds of just negativity about...
yeah, it's really hard on society. Peers. I can tell. Oh my
Don't listen to what the press say. Valuable.
Oh, man. Yeah, the world's gone way of I don't know what.
So what was the experience that turned you off of the music industry?
The experience? Oh, yeah. I think it was being given feedback from like a review board for a grant, and the feedback was the worst feedback somebody could ever give. And like, it was less the fact that they were like, if anything, they should have prepared an applicant for the idea that like, remember, you're trying to apply for money so that we can make you look good, as opposed to just like, we don't care about the artistic quality of what your product is making. And I think that
it was just like the viability, like it was like
100%,
100% of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then once they were just like, well, it's not marketable enough, and I was like, that's odd. I thought you were a cultural institution, but their business were motivated, and that was kind of the turnoff, 100%. Versus like, well, I might as well just apply for money from the Arts Board or the Canada Council then if I want to make actual music.
If that's what your goal is, certainly, and I think that kind of honesty is valuable also, in that you're not like, I don't know, maybe you are like continuing to still go to them and being like, I hate this, but I just want the money.
Oh no! I applied the last time. The first successful grant I got was after 4 applications, and that was for the last album. Mm-hmm. And it worked out well in terms of being given the money, but like realizing that they were only going to give you 50% if you claim that you were also going to spend over $10,000 was like, that's a ridiculous kind of ultimatum for anybody to kind of understand how to be good at making music. So I was like, never going to do that again either, because they won't give you money if you don't apply for less. So why would I bother?
I think there are just sort of contradictions in the idea of arts grants too, where like
100%, yeah.
I'm even like pretty okay with the idea of maybe it is just like a small scale loan, and maybe it should be totally treated like a business thing, and you should pay it back, and it should be viable in a market sense. But if that was completely true about a lot of music and art in Canada, then we wouldn't need like a grant system anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
If we were just leaving things up to market forces or whatever, and like not like, and so I always feel a little funny about grants anyway. I've applied for a few with no success, and that's probably my fault.
Yeah, because it's not really. Though.
I wrote them poorly, or my music's bad, or it's not. They don't consider it viable. And
it's a bit of both, though. Like, because I've been on both sides of like being rejected a lot, but then like hitting like figuring out it's both like figuring out and becoming the kind of thing that they are looking to fund. Because like once you get a little bit of a boost from somebody, then it's like, then you just can kind of get greenlit if you're on a streak. You still have to be the right thing, but then it's more about like, why would we disqualify this project? I really think also probably because there just is so much more demand than there are resources. It really is about disqualifying people rather than really like rewarding for the criteria. And then the other thing about it is too, it's like, because it's public money or government money, and Factor's different too, because even that is like private radio broadcasters, so it's still people who are looking to make money. But it's like because there's government money, it needs to be explainable to somebody who like doesn't necessarily understand music.
Yeah.
You know, like it needs to be, in order for those programs to just keep rolling, like there needs to be some kind of bottom line that a person who's like, I don't know what's good, like
yeah, and not to mention things that art that is like. I'm not saying that the grant system rewards like it is about Canadian culture, whatever that means to them or to you or anybody, and it is about giving Canadian artists a leg up, I guess, in a lot of ways. But it is, you know, something that might be viable to them from a Canadian culture standpoint. It might not be what the market actually wants, or might not be what people want to spend money on.
Oh,
it might not
I
be
agree.
viable as a business model to pay back, and like it is just like a contradiction in the system. And like I think grants are good, but I think it's always sort of a contradiction that's in just in the idea, you know?
Yeah, I certainly have benefited from them too, and it also like can give you the false idea that both that what you're trying to do is like possible or achievable. Like, if you know, this is seed money to help you get there, but then you yourself there. But also, it's like you end up setting like weird targets as a result. Because you like, for instance, I had a thing that I applied for. I wanted to go to the creative music workshop, and I wanted to take a couple of drum lessons with Dave Elitch, this drummer guy in LA, who I had gone to see when I was down there and did like an intro thing, and I just wanted to follow up because he's like a body mechanics guy, and I just want to make sure I'm doing this.
Is he the guy who was like the Mars Volta guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously knew him a little bit through that, but then you were showing me videos and stuff, and he's a fucking monster.
Yeah. But it's
awesome.
like pricey. It's like, you know, a couple of lessons with him plus the creative music workshop thing would have been like $1,000, and that's what I applied for. And but the feedback that I got from those guys was that it was not a big enough project. Like, I should make it more of a thing in order to be convincing. But I was like, really, this is all I want to do, and I think this would be a good thing for me to do. But also, I know, in like, you could blame this on my own disorganization, I suppose, but like the deadline for this particular grant was in May. The thing I wanted to do was in July, and I wouldn't find out if I had gotten it until September.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you can pump up your project to maybe get what we want, but it'll cost you like double or whatever, you know, in order to meet our criteria of what we fund. Or you can just, but you may get nothing.
Yeah, because it is definitely.
Yeah, because I talked to them and I was like, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and I didn't realize that the process was going to take that long. And I was like, I'm thinking about just scaling it back and like doing what I originally did. And they're like, don't change it. You'll like lose, because if you change it from what you said you were going to do, then you just feel like you voted your warranty or whatever. But I thought it was like weird. I ended up just being like, you know, I don't care. But the other thing is, like, I think to compete in the like music industry of the actual world, it's like it takes so much money. And like $4,000, while it's nice to have or whatever from the province, it's not really going to get you very far. But as an upstart band, for us anyway, it's like you think that that's what you should be aiming for, but you still have no idea how to actually make money.
No.
Like, and it just may not be possible unless you go the super commercial route.
It's sort of out of the hands of the people that don't control it too. So it's kind of weird that they still would think that like you have to qualify for something that's a standard that they didn't set. because it's like, well, hold on, if you want to really support us, shouldn't you just be looking at ways to actually support us as opposed to trying to make us qualify for the rest of the world that you don't understand?
Right.
But that would be too much foresight, I think, for like a general business model that exists around here. Because if anything, it's like a lot of like inferiority complex. I feel like the Maritimes is like, we want to be like the internet says the internet and the world is. We want to be like Toronto. Like they don't really. Export ready is the biggest term I have. I have a big problem with the term export ready. I hate that term in terms of like, oh, so you don't care at all about people living here and maybe creating a scene or culture or community. No, it's export ready. So it's like,
which should be emphasized if we are getting government assistance towards like art and culture, then it should be in support of those things. Like I like the idea of like tour grants, like tour support and stuff. Like and that is still marketing and it's still financially.
They're specifically for that.
I guess if you expect to make money off of art, then it is financially driven in one way or another.
If you're playing original music in Nova Scotia, and you want to, and that is the thing though, but that is the link between Nova Scotia or the Maritimes, whatever, and the like larger music industry. But it is a funny thing, just in that like, you used to have to like. Hank Snow didn't make his living in Nova Scotia. Anne Murray didn't like make it big out of Nova Scotia. And now people just like, I grew up in the era where that was not like, you could do it. Sloan did it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
But the flip side of that is like the idea that you should be able to is like, maybe it's not looked at closely enough.
Oh, it's pompous in the same way that it's sort of like, I think about it a lot, where it's like Canada's a baby country with like too much land and not enough people to support it the same way you would get the great cultural history of Europe, which of course supports musicians and the concepts of the arts more because they've existed longer, like literally, physically on the space that they live on and built the infrastructure.
The bars are 200 years old.
Like even America is fantastic because of how many cities there actually just exists geographically. If anything, Canada's kind of like the
thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Canada's like one of the worst places, I think, to be a musician in general, just because it's too big.
If you got a tour, I know it's insane.
It's dumb. It's dumb, and you can't make money.
There is the brain drain that exists in almost every industry too. That's unique to the arts of, like, you know, people move to Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver. And nationally, a lot of people move to the States or elsewhere. So it is like I mean, I think a lot of people who have competitive talent in one way or another, however you define that, end up leaving and going elsewhere. And that's just kind of what happens when you're in like a sparsely populated peninsula at the end of the earth.
Exactly.
It's not a center per se. Like, obviously, artistically and culturally, Nova Scotia can more than hold its own. But
and like in the trade-off also, I mean, in some ways it's quality of life. It's a funny thing because you're also like, you know, there are all the disadvantages of living in a city that has those kinds of conditions and concerns, but like there are really nice places available. And I'm not talking about like property, I'm just talking about like geographic. Like, it's a beautiful province.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
It's a trade-off that I'm happy to. I mean, I've only lived briefly outside for a few years outside Nova Scotia, and I'd love to travel and go elsewhere. But I'd be perfectly happy to live here for the rest of my life because that is a compromise. There's a lot here.
That's I mean, you know, St. John is quite similar, where it's like there's all these things we don't have, but
we're living without congestion. So it kind of is, and after now, it's sort of like the biggest reward you could be getting. I think.
I know, it's amazing, right? Like,
yeah.
And there's a reason that there are, you know, affluent people who have the means to have a summer home wherever they like will choose to have a place in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick or like like there's a reason there's a draw to these places, right? Like they're
just know people totally.
Yeah, well, and beautiful and. People are.
I guess it's okay. No.
we gotta share our souls too, but you know, there is a charm to being here. That I think that's fair to say, not just as someone who's from here. You know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Liam, you sound like you've got some auto-tune going on.
Thank you. Is it choppy? Is the audio choppy?
Occasionally you'll pop in and out, so maybe that's it. Just your streaming.
Yeah, it just was funny
sorry,
because it
guys.
did sound like auto-tune.
But it's not you,
well.
Liam. We don't
Are
think
you
you're
working
doing it
on
Let's shut
consciously.
my voice.
Are you going to be Cher Part 2?
I wish.
Cher
Living life after love.
Jr.?
After laugh,
Wasn't that
Sherry.
the first like commercial use of auto-tune or whatever?
I believe
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not commercial, or just like the first recorded.
The first time anybody made money off auto-tune. Before that, it was a huge flop.
Well, I wish she'd share. Auto-tune money,
I mean, she did, because... Oh, you mean the money. I was like, the technology's there.
I used to have that listed on my Facebook. My political views was just a link to the Cher video. For not that one. It was If I Could Turn Back Time. Where she's like... Have you ever seen it?
If I could turn back time.
She's wearing like a swimsuit that's like a body thong, and she's on like a U.S. Navy ship, like playing for all the soldiers,
yeah.
like dancing on the cannons.
I have not seen
shit.
that.
Is there one where she's laying down? I think I remember pop-up video. Of course you did.
Yes.
What am I saying? I think she had like held her breath for 90 seconds for that scene or something. There's a scene where she's like laying in she wearing a white dress or a sheet or something. I don't know. I'm basing this on one of the pop-up
Why did she have to hold her breath? Why would you have to hold
her?
What's the breath holding have to do with it?
I think she needed to appear still or dead or something.
Oh.
So like a shot. But yeah, I only remember that video because of the pop-up video.
I think I learned it because I was doing a dinner theater thing, and that was one of the songs, and it just was like a song that would be hilarious. But then, so you start to pick it out, you're like, oh, the verse is 7 bars long. And like you just would never count it because like why would you? But then you try to explain to somebody who's not a musician how to do it.
She turned back time by one measure.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely when I went to like in the first year of university, for some reason I got it in my head that it would be good to do Cher, and covered the "Do You Believe in Love After Love" as like a folky song. As like it's a bad folkster and 19-year-old.
That's rough. That's really rough.
People loved it.
I bet they did.
Why don't we play it anymore?
Why? Because obviously, why would I?
That's exactly the vibe. Oh,
it's very chill. Yeah, once you play it, you're like, oh yeah, totally. It's so nice.
I just got a flash of one time on the Best Show they had a topic and people can call in and describe the worst music festival ever. And so who would be on the lineup? And one guy is like, there's this late night stage and it's called The Quad. And it's in the campground. And these dudes just play until like 6 a.m. and it's like acoustic, Dave Matthews and Jack Johnson's covers.
Ooh.
It's a genius scheme.
Yeah.
Like it's called The Quad.
The Quad, yeah.
I like that he went that far with it. It's like some people would just be like, okay, this artist and this artist. He's like, no, it's a late night jam called The Quad. He's a bad boy.
Oh man, at least Dave Matthews had like, a talented band. Jack Johnson.
Well,
I'm going on record. I'll
again?
trash Jack Johnson any day. He had like
they both suck.
Carter Beauford was his drummer.
Oh yeah, I'm
His shit was
joking.
still like straight up cheesy. He was like beatboxing and playing drums at the same time and stuff.
Who's that?
Dave Matthews, drummer, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like he's amazing. It's like not my style. He's like too busy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's a wild. It just embraces the term that seems dated now as world music. Like he plays in a style where he's like, I'm trying to make you realize how worldly my music is. You're like, that's not really.
That's kind of the vibe of the Dave Matthews Band, right? And that's why it appeals so strongly. Well, because there's like a certain emotional thing to it. Like some of his songs caught me, I will say, as a young man. And it's like I remember when I first like discovered the song "Ants Marching," at age 18, whatever. First year university, they played it at every party. We're like, this show was fucking amazing. And I even like that, like so much to say before. But it's just like,
wait,
7 months in, you're like, okay, but like we all only like the same 5 songs by this band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't, and then Now I can't even enjoy it.
You know what? It's kind of like Dave Matthews music. It's like the worst parts of world music, the worst parts of like jam bands, kind of prog shit, and the worst parts of like singer-songwriter music. It takes like the worst part of a few different genres and smashes it together for me. And I used to like.
You just killed it.
When I was 15 or 16, I was hanging out with some older kids. But there was this one guy who loved Dave Matthews, and like he'd always buy me beer, and we'd smoke weed and stuff. And we played a couple like. I thought they were gigs at the time. They were like maybe coffee house things, if I'm being generous. But I was like 15, and it was like pretty cool. But
it's a gig.
He just wanted to sing Dave Matthews songs and compose Dave Matthews style songs.
Oh,
but he like was actually kind of fucking tone deaf. But he would still do the Dave Matthews like voice cracky kind of like.
Oh, good.
The utterly high parts. It was rough, man.
Now, what about
so maybe like tainted it for me?
What like did he do like Crash Into Me?
Oh, of course he did.
Obviously,
he's not stupid. He knows where he knows what his bread and butter is.
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
I was, I did like the chord voicings and stuff were cool. Like some of the
the verses, the song has no chorus.
With,
The chorus is crash. That's the chorus.
Yeah, it's all about the dirty line.
And then it goes back to the verse. He didn't even give the option of like, I should write a good chorus for all these other verse chords I've created. No,
don't need it. Don't need it.
Literal. It's a metaphor. He literally goes crash, as in the song's broken, and then goes back into the verse again.
Harsh.
Harsh
criticism of Dave Matthews.
Corey Isenore's headlines again.
Oops, he did it again. Hang on.
But is there ever anything that would be like popularly considered world music that
Corey
is
Isenor's
good?
been canceled.
Oh no! It's about time, Ryan. Thank you for using your privilege for good.
Yes, you need to silence people like me.
Doing this, speaking with you.
But is there anything that aside? Okay, I'll say Graceland, Paul Simon, is maybe the one album that I would call like world music. Which sucks to call anything that's good. What else would you call world music that you would actually like listen to on purpose?
World music feels like it's like I don't know. It feels like a dumb concept
to begin with. I know.
Can I say that? It's like
totally.
Like
it sounds like
you don't know. It's like foreign music or like you know what I mean?
It seems like it sounds racist. It sounds like it's exotic.
Like a white
like
band, but they have
music.
a Peruvian pan flute player too.
It basically is what it is. Like it's white people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Because then you get into like, is Peter Gabriel world music? Is like. I don't know.
It's Sting? Because Sting pretty much is.
He's pretty world.
He's pretty Jamaican world to be ripping off all reggae.
Or like
Sting has some questionable like songs and accents that he sings in. Like Sting hits the Jamaican accent a little hard sometimes.
Yeah,
and as much as
a little deep in it.
How do we feel about the Sting and Shaggy collab? Anyone
that is the worst. That is the worst.
Was that Tiny Desk? Was that a Tiny Desk concert?
They did do one.
No, it's not a Tiny Desk
concert. It was better than expected.
They did an album.
I thought it was a joke.
I didn't like it. I
thought it was a joke, but the Tiny Desk concert you didn't like?
Oh my god!
That's the only version of that collaboration or song I heard. I didn't like it at all.
I heard about it like on the Grammys or something. There's like, here comes Sting and Shaggy, and I was like, oh, they're presenting an award together. It's like, no, they did an album together.
They did an album together. Two of the least original musicians in all of pop music. At least
I heard
Shaggy
on CBC a year or so ago where he had done. I don't know if it was like a musical, but it's a bunch of like British small sailing like I think based on the town he grew up in. Yeah. But it's sea ballad, and he's like has a raspy, deep voice, and it was rough.
Okay. I thought you were going to talk about Shaggy.
On, like, CBC.
Sting, I would say Sting is originally just boring and uncool, though.
Yeah.
Well, Shaggy was also the crab or the lobster, whatever you call it, Sebastian, in the live stage production musical of Under the Sea, and
Shaggy is Sebastian.
Yeah, because he has the same voice basically, which is like this.
I love that.
And I also know who's the person who sings. Samuel E. Wright was the Sebastian
original guy
voice and accomplished singer.
And he's incredible. Totally.
Yeah.
He's inventing way more. If you look at half of all the Shaggy songs he's ever been famous for, he
There we
stole
go.
so much of the original songs to make his own songs. He didn't like sample them. He just stole songs and then, well, he didn't steal. He paid a ton of money for them. But it's amazing that he just like accounted for that because his live tour show was going to be great.
Yeah.
Whose show is going to be great? We are getting some comments here. There's like a
Shaggy,
lag between the. I don't know what point in time I'm looking at on my I am ahead. Me here looking at things is like ahead of me on my phone. Oh, my head's starting to move now. Ooh,
a little delay. Yeah,
weird.
totally. Yeah.
I think I timed. It was like 30 seconds.
Maybe they give you some time so you can cut the feed in case I do something really bad.
Canceled you once, he'll do it again.
Yeah,
he'll do it again. No, you should look up Shaggy as Sebastian in the live performance of Under the Sea because he also refuses to wear the lobster claw hands because they didn't like the way they looked, even though he's the fucking lobster. So he just looks like a guy in a red leather suit walking around the stage going Under the Sea.
It's an aqua themed BDSM performance.
Yeah, like he has no headpiece and he has no gloves. Everybody else is in full costume and he's like, no.
He's Shaggy. You gotta know. He needs you to know. So Jason Ogden says, worst music fest ever. It's called Evolve.
Yeah, I tried that once.
Joe Strummer, Global A Go-Go is referred to as music. What a great effing album.
Nice. As world music?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I've heard a song from it, but no, I don't know it.
Don't know enough of my.
Okay, so we have one possible album that's not bad. That's world music. Even music. Pat Metheny might be the best guitarist alive, or whatever, but he makes like unlistenable world music 95% of the time.
I saw Jeff Beck, and there was like some pan flute shit. Because he's another like contender for best guitarist, right? Like people are like Jeff Beck.
Yeah, sure.
Jeff Beck. I would give probably. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, I was so disappointed. I took the night off work early, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. I think I just got paid. I'm gonna go. Jeff Beck is in town. I don't normally go to these shows, but that's a guy I should try and go see. I'm gonna go treat myself for once. And I paid like $80 for a ticket. And they went in, and the show was like hand flute. And just like flashy guitar playing, but like I just don't care.
No, I mean it's hard to sell somebody on pan flute now.
When I was in
not culturally relevant to us.
Well, it's like keyboard that sounds like pan flute too, I think. Or maybe
man, that is so much worse.
Yeah.
That is so much worse.
Yeah.
I went to see Bill Frisell, who I love, like one of my favorite guitar players, still is. Mm-hmm. I got into him, like, I don't think I knew him until I went to university, but like everyone was all about Bill Frisell, a bunch of jazz nerds who were like, it's the notes he's not playing. And he's great, but like his music is very varied, right? So I knew a handful of his albums, and he was playing at Halifax Jazz Fest that year, the stage off like Spring Garden. So I told my parents, and I like played them some of his music, and they're like pretty. They were like blues music, I think. So I played some of the more blues centric songs, maybe some of the rootsy kind of Americana, like Appalachian shit. And they're like great. And so we all bought tickets, and we went with a friend of mine. But he came out, and it was pretty much like it was almost like trad. Like he was playing with like a mandolin player and a banjo player, and it was like very understated and. I wouldn't say world music-y, but definitely not what I had represented him as to them, and like made them all buy tickets. And they still make fun of me regularly. And they'll like listen to his music, and they're like, "Yeah, he's still good," but my dad will be like, "Yeah, that song was good," but then it went in kind of a Bill Frisell direction there for a minute.
Oh, dude, I bought his John Lennon album, and I was like listening to it. I had it on the car with my younger brothers, and I was like. I had just bought, it was like when HMV was closing, and I bought like a handful of CDs, and I just had them in the car, and I kind of fired that one, and I was like, Bill Frisell's good. And Revolution came on, because it's all John Lennon tunes, and it was like a fiddle doing the melody. And then my brothers were like, what is this, Shania Twain? Like, put something else on.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough. But
tough luck, Bill.
Yeah, tough luck. He has a million albums, and
I know, and he
some of them are
can
quite
be
different.
pretty so beautiful and also so out, man. Like that live one with Kermit Driscoll and Joey Barron.
Joey Barron, I remember seeing him at Saint FX when he came too. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, I was there too. That was amazing, man.
Yeah, I did a clinic or like a master class and then did a performance. That was awesome, and that
That
album's super weird.
Yeah,
but he does like,
really
is that
weird.
the one where he does like Have a Little Faith in Me, the John Hyatt song, which I love, and he also does the Washington Post March.
Did he do that?
Wow.
That wasn't, you know what? That wasn't a live one, but he did that on an album with Joey Barron, and I think maybe the same rhythm section.
That's called the Washington Post March.
I think so. I only know that because of that Bill Frisell album. Anyway, I think I'm thinking of a different album, but the same dudes. But yeah, it goes into fucking outer space. There are some Space Cadet parts for sure.
I heard a thing, like, now that you're talking about like just tunes of the thing. So Jerry Granelli has a new album, and it's playing the music of Vince Guaraldi and Mose Allison. And I had never listened to Mose Allison. I bought the record that Jerry plays on. It's on Atlantic Records. I bought it in Portland last year. But anyhow, this tune I listened to, there's like 2 songs that I listened to on Bandcamp. And one has got this piano thing. It's like that I've recognized. It's called like Parchman Farm or something. And it's like the piano thing is like, and I was like, what is that? And I thought it was from Parliament. I just put it together. I'm pretty sure it's like the piano bit from Sex Machine.
Oh.
You know, like when it's like he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that, right?
Definitely, like Vince Guaraldi definitely throws in some little things every once in a while from other tunes. What is yeah, totally.
Piano players.
He plays around.
Yeah, so this one is like a new trio playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. World music. I was like, Christmas music might be the only world music that I would tolerate. little drummer boy. Like ABBA, or I was trying to think of
You're Being Kind.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Boney M.
I wanna wish.
I think it's
Boney M.
Story.
Exactly. Boney M. Still good.
They toured
wish
through
you
here, right?
It came to Halifax. Yeah.
In December, totally. And we almost went as a family for our aforementioned cultural thing we do every December when we saw Thane Dunn or go to the theater.
Right.
But we sort of hesitated and we didn't pull the trigger and we didn't care enough to actually pay the prices on that one. But we had some very good family friends who they, like 12 of them all went and they bought out a row. And
they said it was awesome, didn't they?
Yeah, it was the Stabinos.
Yeah, totally.
I think they liked it. I only know 1.5 songs by Boney M. So I don't know.
1.5 songs. Which songs do you know?
Excuse me.
What's the well, I know the one that I think is ABBA. Is that Ra Rasputin? Is that them?
That is.
I mean, they have a clip.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was ABBA for years, and it should be. And then the
Christmas
Boney
M too. But there's an ABBA Christmas one too, though. Is that what you mean?
Do tell. No, I'd like to hear it. I just thought.
I think there is.
Song sounded like one.
Yeah, Born on Christmas Day. Is that also Boney M? But he
was
the king to see. Oh wow!
See,
that was a classic. Like that's the one I think, and like Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
We did. I played Jingle Bells with the disco band here. They do a version of Jingle Bells, and they do a version of Jingle Bells. They have like German accents. I found it so weird because to me it was like jingle bells, jingle bells. That's so weird.
That's weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah, they're really directing your attention on that one. Jingle bells. Well, by Christmas Day.
Yeah, I saw
So
Jerry
it's
Granelli
really good.
also. Speaking of German, he posted like a not live stream, but they played remotely over the magic of the internet. It was him with a German guitarist named Christian something or other.
Kugel. Oh, I didn't.
They were
I
doing a
saw that
Charlie
he posted
Parker
that,
tune.
but neat. Yeah, he's been posting a bit lately. I hadn't seen that, or I did see it, but I didn't watch it. I guess I should say.
Yeah, that's pretty. Drumming is sick.
Yeah,
The guitar playing is too, but it's a little. It's not.
on the jazzy side.
Oh, it's very. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a Charlie Parker tune, so it would have been. It would have been very strange if it wasn't jazzy.
yeah.
But
He's a great guitar player, man.
I don't. What's his name? Christian.
Christian Kugel. I went to the creative music workshop last year, and he was the guitar instructor. So I brought my guitar. I went up doing guitar because, like, for the first time ever, there were a bunch of drummers and no guitarists.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
no way.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was great for me. There weren't no guitarists. There were three of us. Or no, there were three, but Ross is on faculty. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how lucky that you get to count yourself in both camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I would never count myself in any.
Renaissance man.
Right. But anyway, he was like the instructor, and he's really good. But he's like, I think he comes from a classical background, so like plays in that style. So it's like not the way that I play electric guitar for sure.
Yeah.
Not the way I probably play
Jerry Granelli must be getting up there.
80 this year.
I went and saw the Christmas show in December as well because I wanted to see that at least because I hadn't seen it before, and it was awesome. It was great, and like he was perfect. Yeah, it's Spats.
I haven't been to that, but I love that album and I love that music.
It's really worth it. I saw him at Spats and I saw him here too.
Having the kids, the choirs is major too. Just getting to see them sing, and like all you need is a children's choir. Doesn't matter what the choir is.
I know it's like
it's so the same.
Because you just know those tunes, right? Like they're a part of all of us, and it's like from childhood.
And just all you need.
Oh, it's so good. That's like I listened to that album so multiple times leading up to Christmas, and I'm not the most sentimental or nostalgic person, but
it makes me feel okay.
Music.
Yeah, it's the only good part about the season. It's that album.
But if it comes up against Thane Dunn, the die's cast. Sorry, boys, I don't think I can choose between. I think I got to go to Thane.
That and the food, I'll say. I do also enjoy the food around the holidays.
Corey taking another controversial stand.
I just got to go out there.
Food during the holidays. Really?
Yeah, loves me some turkey stuffing.
Ooh. Ryan, you got anything good on the phones? What's going on there? What are the people saying?
Well, it's a quiet night. We're getting a few comments. I think
we should have put some money on a pony.
Well, this is what I was gonna say earlier.
Fortune. I'm gonna have Boney M stuck in my head all night.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Not just another world music album, just from the Mescaleros, Global Go-Go's, an album so good, really satisfying. Headphone listen, check it out. The Thane of Cawdor. I don't get
it. Thane of Cawdor. Okay, you know the only thing that means to me, Tom Daniels, the guitar prof at Saint FX for a number of years, he had a song called Thane of Cawdor, who I, in my head, just imagined was a character from like Norse mythology or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe it was like a cover
traditional
song
tune.
Or something. But Tom Daniels had a Thane of Cawdor song.
Oh.
So, but who is that by?
It's a Shakespeare reference, actually. I wouldn't expect you to know that.
Well, pardonnez-moi. Oh, you ever read a fucking book?
But it's actually Shakespeare. Don't ask anything else about it.
You might have heard of it. It's a little thing called.
You heard about old Billy Shakespeare.
Wrote a line or two.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonnet here.
If you weren't a mouth breathing dum-dum, maybe you would have heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. They only
have you
made
even
me read
heard of
books in
Shakespeare,
school.
Liam?
Do you even Shakespeare? I'll fucking Shakespeare at anyone that comes on my driveway.
More like steaks here. That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh, Corey's in the grilling mood. Summer's coming up.
Uh-oh. It's getting grilled. Things are getting spicy. They're heating up.
Kiss the cook.
I'm ready to grill anybody. Yeah, I haven't had some red meat in a while. I should really consider it.
Corey, you got to get that red meat. I haven't really. Well, eaten some pork, but eating a lot of
white.
vegetarian shit. Breaking news.
Corey hasn't had what was it?
I haven't had red meat in a while.
Red meat in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I had today was I'm really
Not
impressed
adult
with the Beyond line of products. I got some Beyond sausages, and they taste like the real thing. I was impressed.
Dang.
They're like Italian sausage. But you know what drew my eye, because I was just like looking for deals. What do you think of this idea? Oh, this thing is right in front of my face, though. What do you think of this idea? 50-50. So it's a line of like burgers and like hot dogs or whatever. Half meat and half plant-based protein.
Ooh, so no one likes it.
Right?
Yes.
Like, what's the point?
I'd be down with that, because I'm pretty. I'm a carnivore, but I also like eat a lot of vegetarian shit, and sometimes meat's just not really worth. I mean,
maybe it's just a lighter
meat for every meal.
Yeah, if it's cheaper, sure, why not?
I don't think it's cheaper. I think it's probably more expensive.
No, that's stupid. Not a business idea. It costs you twice as much.
Also, it's worse for you somehow, and worse for the environment and the economy. What do you think? This is my first time on the Page 10 platform, and I'm.
What do you think?
What do you think, viewer? Yeah, now I can see that we're definitely like a bunch of podcasters.
When someone offers you half and half at a deal, you always take it. Is what I'm hearing from my sources.
Even if it costs you more.
Did you buy that banner? What do you think? What did you think? That's pretty good.
Hang on, I got more.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Is there supposed to be commentary from people on this? I can't even tell.
Fake news!
Wow. Yeah, they really want to get people memeing themselves, I guess.
Oh, that's great.
Or maybe it's
is there like a MAGA one?
Nice.
Oh, no, there's not. That's what it would be, a hashtag fail.
Yeah.
Can you do,
MAGA's
I know...
too far.
When I looked at the sort of interface quickly, I see you can like drag and drop different feeds. Can you do like a soundboard thing on there?
I don't think you can, and I don't know if it's like there's. I think I could make my own custom like words to overlay if my computer was newer. So I need something called WebGL, which
WebGL.
I've heard those words before. Yes.
It sounds like lube, is what it sounds like.
The sense that I get, like, I think this platform is quite cool, but it is also, like, I think built by techie dudes who are, like, I'm not going to say, like, annoyed that they have to make it simple for, like, idiots to understand, but I get a little bit of that vibe.
It's resentful.
Yeah, you're like, okay, you need WebGL. You don't know what that is? Well, you probably shouldn't be trying to do this then. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering about the feature where
you maybe it's the web guest list.
Yeah, totally. Because you can mute the mic and you can mute the audio, but you can't mute the video feed at all. So it's just like, that's very interesting.
Why, you got something to hide?
Yeah.
Cancel him, Ryan. Cancel him again.
Yeah.
Cancel him.
No, I'm getting canceled again.
Corey Eisner's been canceled. I mean, I'd love to say we regret to inform you this, but we all agree it was the right move.
Give people what they want. It's such an aggressive giant red X on a black backdrop. It's like hard edges. There's no feathering, no tapering.
What do you need that for?
That's right. It's a harsh X. That's reality,
soft? Baby. All right, let's bring him back in.
He wants a soft X. I'm not ready.
We're giving you one more chance.
Yeah.
No. Let me find something to provocate. I had nothing.
Was that a good move? Audience says yes. It was a good move.
Man,
man.
I was asleep to the possibilities of this platform. This is great.
It's really funny, man. I really find that. So there's also although I don't think we can have 3 of us in front.
What do you mean in front? I don't know what in front means.
Oh,
I can see all three. I see all 3 of us right now.
Well, like you can do something like this.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
But I don't think you can do like a backdrop where the 3 of us are all in the foreground.
But
you could do this, which I mean, obviously is an improvement.
That's what people want. Yeah, I'm seeing the screens
You
going
could
through the
do
roof.
this.
Oh yeah, we had that.
You can
That's a
change
little
the
more
order
direct.
of that. I think
That's
that
more
this
like
one,
news.
while the pictures are smaller, I think it's like kind of a nicer.
It's nicer
vibe.
format.
I like the frame.
I like it's egalitarian.
Yeah.
Though I think Liam and you
Democrat.
get more space than me. I can't tell.
Oh, maybe.
Well, the algorithm just decided they suppress a lot of the fake
they wanted
news.
to-
And
You shouldn't be getting yourself canceled, Corey, if that's what you're doing.
yeah,
I have
don't
the
write
opportunity.
checks your butt can't cash.
That's right.
It's not
Guys,
how
if
banking
you'll
works.
excuse me, I'm going to run to the washroom really quickly. I apologize, but I've been living on this full bladder for a long time. Will you excuse me for a moment, please? You can cancel me if it helps.
You might as well just
All
cancel him.
Hang on. I got something here. Where is it?
Just to put the video up, it can be your intermission.
There we go.
Be right. It's amazing. That's pretty sweet. Nice of him.
And we are back, folks.
Hey, boys.
Hi.
Oh, I forgot to. Well, I guess the lead-in time that we actually had to talk was only like 10 minutes. I just realized I could monitor the like on deck. So I noticed you follow Scott your guitars.
Always, all the time.
Guitars or something. What's that all about now?
Well, I just came back and the boys were gone, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I grabbed the only friend I have left in this crazy world, my girlfriend's guitar.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing.
Are you guys gonna play us a song?
Oh no, I don't think that would even work to play in.
Well, this is what I was wondering. I wasn't sure if that was your intent.
I think it would be super delayed. No, I think.
Probably. In worst case scenario, I'll just give fun little soundscapes in the background as we chat shit.
Yeah, Randy over here.
Play a chord in 2, 3, 4.
I'm not ready.
See the lag.
I don't think it'll work.
Do you have the copyright clearance for this?
Yeah, I mean, I own the rights to all my songs. Luckily.
Who's Kermit the fucking
Bad boy industry mogul Corey Eisner owns all the rights to his songs.
Yeah, well, can you believe that?
That's how he gets away with it.
Yeah, I don't think you can hear me. I like that we can almost make one guitar though, because we're facing opposite ways. Oh wait, there it is.
It's hard to know how the screens are cropped for the average viewer at home.
I think I think they get the same view.
Oh, do they? Okay, yeah.
I believe so.
We get a cup for the real big boy. I don't think there's any way we could actually play together, but we should try.
No, totally. Okay, hold on.
Something where timing's not important.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I was about to play a song called About Time.
I was gonna say that song about time that we all know.
Playing there, 4/4.
No, I was just tuning.
No, I mean, what guitar?
Oh, it's my hollow body, the acoustic or the I mean, whatever you call it.
You guys are really you just ruined it. I was really trying to it's like perfect now. Oh, Corey, you just got to lean a little bit to the right.
Oh yeah, like you can see it, right? Like it looks like it's one guitar.
Yeah,
seeing that
earlier. The outline there. Oh,
right there.
It's like right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now just never move.
It's so delayed. It's like impossible to figure out.
That's okay. We just do fun noodles as we chat with the boys.
I like that the audio is just trying to take priority over.
Well, it's weird because you get the maybe it's not. I feel like your guitar is coming through Liam's microphone, Corey. Like I feel like I'm getting an echo.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
I guess that could be possible.
No, that wouldn't be the case. I'm making stuff up.
You little.
Yeah, it might just be weird audio artifacts or whatever.
Yeah, no big deal though. No big deal.
Yeah,
we'll be playing again together soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the next step.
Start playing. Play together and getting together to start learning new songs.
Yeah.
Stage 2.
So when we were playing simultaneously there, it sounded fine to me, but that's because I'm hearing your lagged.
Right.
But how was it completely out of whack, Ryan, on your end?
He's on deep net.
It's weird. No, I'm trying to I'm deep in the settings.
Yeah.
It just sounded weird. I couldn't really pinpoint why. If you wanted to do it, I could listen closely. I could tell you. Right now, I don't know.
Maybe sounding weird was a stylistic choice that we made. All right,
I'll
Corey, just for
never
shits and
understand your
giggles,
journey.
count in that same song you were just playing, and we'll do like 30 seconds of it and see how funny it sounds. And Ryan,
Okay.
if this is the worst idea ever for your show, you just tell us.
I love this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. I heard her cry this morning. I took it as a warning sign. Escaping voices outside in the sunshine. I moved through quiet meadows. I dance where on the shadow falls. But even now at this hour, I feel small. Time won't bend for my youth. Life won't bend without you. A song won't end when it is beginning. Breaking out over the dawn as I'm waking up all alone. Singing the same old song, forgetting the words are wrong, making them up as I go, and taking the wrong way home. Even if I don't feel happy, but I'm in love with something beyond this trend, though I don't know how it will end. Something around that turn, though I don't know where or when. Something that I can prove by taking it out on you. I move through quiet meadows. I speak where on the narrow falls. But even now at this hour, I feel small. Did you hear it? Did it make sense? Because it was just choppy, I guess. Otherwise, I don't know. He's got to stay tuned right back. Did you just cut him out? Yeah,
that was so weird. I mean, it sounded cool. It sounded nice, and it's like the delay was cool, but also just the way. It's interesting because you guys are such pros, but also you like play together, you know. But in seriousness, what I mean is like it's very clear that you're both like. No one is like lost or like thrown off by the other guy, but it's the parts are like very much on their own path, but like not together in the spot you expect them to be. How was it for you guys?
I was just following Corey, so like I didn't really have any. There was some audio like volume dropouts, but not like the timing was pretty. There wasn't any glitches on my end, but.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's probably like half a second or more behind what's actually happening.
Yeah,
so
totally.
It was like I had a click track to play to, but that's not what it sounds like to anybody else.
Oh, but that's what's interesting about it, because like it doesn't sound like a mess. It just sounds like two things are. Whoa, who's ripping?
Who do you mean, Liam? Always, not. Yeah, that's me. This is the opportunity to showcase my guitar skills by having Liam.
You've been waiting.
2 boys, 1 guitar. That's the way it looks on screen, from what I hear. Or not anymore.
Liam's gonna rip off my tune.
No, what's the? I think in this configuration it's reversed. So I guess like something that I'm learning about this is if you set them all up, then it'll just that's like
She'll prioritize who's talking, or
well, it'll just remember like because it's essentially. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
It's 3 blank spaces. It's just like a box within a box, and you can put 1 feed and whatever. But once it's set up, it just remembers it. You don't have to reprogram the individual.
Oh, yeah.
But so, for instance, like this one has got Corey on the left, Liam in the middle, me on the right.
Yeah.
This one has got Liam on the left, Corey in the middle, me on the right. And when I click on the shape, it's just always going to go to that configuration. It's not going to stick with what we were at last.
Oh,
so like you guys can switch spaces like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's just going to be this for a while now.
Who was Kermit the fucking Log?
Oh, it's Jason Ogden.
Okay.
I was trying to bring him in on the video, but I couldn't. This thing might max out at 3.
Oh yeah. Max out. They really built
a nice Brady Bunch thing.
The platform they built.
The only options I have are to add local cam or share my screen. No, it doesn't. Like it'll add because I can add my local cam. Now I don't know if that means the one on my computer or just like cam models in my area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
What is it, OnlyFans? Is that it?
Yeah, OnlyFans. What is? Oh man. What is the deal with OnlyFans?
I don't know. As far as I can tell, it's pornography that's personalized that you pay for, but I think paying for pornography is blasphemous in this day and age.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
Well, that just shows us that you are not a high tier consumer.
Couldn't agree more. I never agreed so wholeheartedly with the characterization of myself.
Not a large consumer of porn.
Very low, or just of anything. Very low, very base model.
He's base. Liam's the base boy. He's the base boy that everybody wants.
There's no shame in it.
So base, Liam.
No, we agree.
The way that I discovered that existed was this. You ever heard of the band Attila?
No, I don't think so.
They're like a metalcore band, but they're from Atlanta, so they're like white metal dudes who rap. And it's like all about that life. I was like, oh man, I wish I could remember. Because the line I want to say is like, it's like metal growl too in this video. It's like, she sucks my dick, then she counts my money while I play my PlayStation. It's like an actual lyric.
It's too specific. You know, it came from a real place.
Yeah,
it's not purely fiction. There's an element of realism.
But it was like from this newsletter that I follow, where the guy had like written about. It's like a music industry thing, but anyway, people reply to it, and he'll reprint their replies.
Mm-hmm.
So he just had written this thing. It's based in the U.S. He'd written this thing about guns, and then this other guy, this dude from this band, like, it was kind of creepy sounding. It was like, yeah, you better have protection. Like, I, have my legal gun because I need to protect myself, and you'd be wise to protect yourself too. Stay safe out there, or something like that. It like just kind of made it sound like, I know where you live, man. Like, But so anyway, I looked him up, and it was this guy in this band Attila, and he had on his Instagram, he had like an OnlyFans thing that's him and his girlfriend like make porn.
Yeah, there's one thing. I'm always looking for a new fetish, and I think that like gross Southern rap metal dude and his girlfriend is probably my new lane.
Yeah. What would you pay a month for access to that content?
Cool.
Nothing.
Money's lost all meaning in the quarantine, but I give a $12.
How many liters of gas would you liter of gas equivalent?
Oh, not at all. Gas is way more valuable than that. That stuff sounds like it's devaluable. It sounds like you watch that and it takes value out of things.
Yeah, I think it takes value out of your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like you're gaining something, but you're also something's being taken from you for sure.
My girlfriend has one of her good friends has a friend who's had some hard times, and she's now sort of in recovery, I think. But she showed me a link to like, it wasn't her actual like porn page, but it was like her description and like about me kind of thing. And I don't want to like trivialize. I think she struggled with addiction and stuff, and she's now pregnant, and maybe the circumstances are a little in flux. But that's her lane. Now, I don't think that like pregnancy porn probably doesn't surprise anybody, but she like has a nickname for her baby, and it features heavily in the description.
Oh, no.
B2, I think is what she calls the baby, just like the letter B and then the number 2. But it's like about B2, and then so it's like, and again, I don't really know how. Well, it might not have even been OnlyFans, but it's one of those things that you have to pay for. But it was like the different tiers of donors, right? Like, so it has, and it's like B2 doesn't like stingy daddies who don't want to pay the thing. And it was like, I'm looking for it's like tier 1 was basically like, you make a nice donation because I want to buy my baby this and I want to go back to school one day. And then it was like tier 2, there's this, and then it went up to like full on sugar daddy, I think was the name of it. And it's like, maybe you want to make a donation, but also stick around and be in B2's life. And it's like a picture of her pregnant belly, and it's like, here's B2.
Wow.
That's all.
I don't like the kink shame,
person.
but it made me profoundly uncomfortable.
Like it's all out there. Yeah, exactly.
But also, she's just trying to grind out a niche like everybody else in this crazy world. So I don't follow her, but I was like, oh, what kind of person is fucking? Who is the clientele? You know?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That Lucky just reminds me. It's like not the same thing at all, but like the memory that it associated. I hope I'm getting this story wrong. The gist is like a couple of years ago. This thing I saw on Facebook. It's like this family from PEI. It was like, I don't know. It's like 2 parents and their teenage daughter, and the gist of it is basically like, we need some money to get off PEI because PEI sucks. Like, GoFundMe.
Oh,
like, we're supposed to have this money, but then like, I don't know, something didn't come through, and like we can't move now.
That's rough.
Oh man, yeah, PEI. That's their problem.
And it puts you in the unfortunate situation of like hoping that it's a scam or like somebody's just trolling for money, because if they really need a GoFundMe to improve their lot in life, then that's like way more disturbing and sad than if it's just somebody trying to take advantage. It's
sad, but it also was the tone of it was like we don't want this. We want to we want. It probably wasn't even a lot of money, but we want some money so that we can just. It's not like we've got like a real plan and a vision, and like we're going to improve our lot in life, and like we can't do what we need to do here, and we've like scoped out the perfect place, and we just need a bit of support to make it happen. It's just like we hate it here. Give us some money so we can leave.
So they would not be.
It is so sad, but also like
they would not be awarded.
It's
a
like
grant
Jesus, you're just gonna say it.
No, yeah.
They need more of a vision. Otherwise, they're not going to make it.
Brunswick.
Oh, I'm not giving them any money. It's just it's like this poor dude. So when I used to work in Charlottetown at a place, it was a venue at the Guild in Charlottetown years ago. Like it's like 15 years ago now. But this guy was like launching a magazine, and he was talking about like, yeah, like I'd like to like once I get some advertisers, I could move to Moncton or Halifax. And it's like, dude, you can just move. Like, you don't need advertisers. Like, if you want to move to Moncton or Halifax, like, you can just get an apartment and like figure it out.
Yeah, like it
you can
doesn't
kind of
feel
just
like
cobble together like $700 and just move.
Yeah, yeah, that is literally what I did.
Yeah, I don't think we're hacking it any better out here. It's like, well, it takes quite a bit to live in Halifax.
And don't get me wrong, $700 is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But I just mean, like, if that's your big move in life, you can kind of move 3 hours away.
You can just do it. Yeah, you don't need like the advertisers or an imaginary step.
You don't need your GoFundMe page.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's like, I need corporate donors so that I can move to Moncton.
Yeah. Pretty sure they're not checking IDs at the gate of Moncton.
Yeah, right. They'll be happy to have you, trust me.
Yeah, how many advertisers have you got, pal?
Oh, you're an influencer, are you? Well, let's have a look at your Instagram account.
Yeah, they're coming in our house.
Hot, static.
It's not Beverly Hills.
How are your Instagram accounts? Are you feeling motivated by social media these days?
By social media?
Neglected.
No.
Motivated to bother with social media?
It keeps me motivated to take photos. That I just have something to like.
That's
slowly
true.
Yeah, you're
build.
very active with the photos, and that's good for that.
It's great. Yeah, like it. Yeah, I don't feel bad because it's like I never post anything about myself. I'm just posting the photos I take. It's kind of great. Like there's a guiltless relationship with it versus like the music thing is totally like me trying to whore myself out all the time with here's something interesting. But the photo stuff, I don't give a shit. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I loved about Instagram when I first got it. It was like just pre-Facebook. Like I thought it was like an app that put filters on your pictures, and then I was like, "Whoa, it's like a social thing." And then it's like I can follow my friends, and then I can actually get to the bottom of it, and like I've seen all the new stuff, and it just is for taking pictures. And now it's like kind of gone crazy. But you're right. It's like when you're like trying to push something all the time, like that's when it sucks.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just to keep people engaged. And so I feel okay because I don't mind taking photos all the time to get better at it. So that just goes hand in hand. I don't feel forced, but I can only imagine anybody else who thinks that like the platform or the direction to be successful is to get noticed on Instagram, which means you have to take a lot of, because like the people I see otherwise that I know that try to be influencers, whatever that is, it's like, it's right in your face. They aren't able to sort of like make it a mystical, interesting thing. And so right away I'm like, well, doesn't that make it valueless then all of a sudden? Like it's kind of already like, that's too much of an, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird for me that stuff counts as content, I guess. I'm just blown away by that.
I find it's like, I think it's been proven that you can do things using those platforms, but the level of commitment that it requires is just like, no thanks.
No, it's really weird. It's odd considering the amount of devotion you could put that into anything else would make you a much more valuable person in society.
Yeah, but you'd be invisible.
And it is funny because like I don't think I might have put a story or two up on Instagram. I don't think I've made a post in months and months and months. But it is the platform that brings me. I mean, I still might only spend 10 minutes a day on there. Yeah, but it brings me a lot more enjoyment and value, or whatever you want to call it, than Facebook or anything.
Yeah, that's
because it is more just not tactile. Well, it's more visual. Like you're just seeing actual things, pictures and videos and whatever else. And I follow a lot more like musicians and artists or like MMA fighters, whoever I want to follow on there, and there's a lot of value and stuff. But I just haven't been spending much time on it at all. Really, and a lot of it is pretty gross, especially of like the influencer type of people. And I've even heard, like I saw someone posted the other day that like I don't want to put anyone on blast, but like the Halifax Noise Instagram, which I follow a lot, like if I want to see what's going on in Halifax or if there's a news story or whatever, like it is pretty cool. But like it is totally pay to play, and they reach out to people and are like, hey, you pay me $75 or whatever, and I'll I'll promote your business. Like it is
Really, I didn't know that.
It started in my mind as like this is some asshole posting on Facebook or whatever. So don't listen to me certainly, and maybe don't listen to them.
Right.
But
yeah,
in my mind, it was like this is a local wholesome thing, and it's cultural stuff, and like local businesses, and something that's like cool to follow. And that kind of tainted it for me, where it's like, oh no, it's just cynical and pay to play, like everything else is. And
well, I mean, the influence of like the followers they have, like tens of thousands of people on them account, definitely makes them like a media influencer, where they can definitely choose whatever they want to do with that power now, right? Like accepting money if they want to, but also, yeah, choosing not to.
And the other side of me is like, well, maybe somebody should make a living out of that, and maybe that is a valuable service that should be rewarded. But it is,
yeah, because they're kind of.
I don't know. It sort of changed the way I looked at it a little bit. Maybe that's my naivete.
No, it's like it's definitely like a new news platform. But you're right. Like we are used to a form of journalism that gives us information notably, and so getting the information through the same platform makes you think that they're journalistic, as opposed to like, well, they're just resharers. All they do is reshare stuff.
Yeah,
like they're not creating content at all. But it seems like it is because they're resharing things, so we get it all from them. But you're like as a conglomerate or an aggregator, they're just like the grocery store, I guess.
Yeah, and not them specifically, but people that do make a business model out of resharing things on Instagram, like it's so much worse than the actual like news
like
media, regardless of how much value you put on that, because it's like it's even more unbalanced and biased and stuff the way, right? It's just there's a slant to it, like there is to a lot of
totally
things.
Yeah.
You're talking about that media entity specifically, or just social media in general?
Oh, not them. Just social media in general, and I guess
media.
like the phenomenon of influencers and or not influencers, but people who are aggregators and resharers and like.
Well, yeah. So recently, the Last Word in Halifax. What's the deal there?
The what?
The Last Word. The bookstore on Windsor Street.
Bookstore.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw one post about it that I don't expect to actually be impartial or anything, so I don't
know. What is the story you heard?
That they were evicted against the current laws about putting a freeze on evictions, and that an eatery is moving in.
Right.
And that's the version of it I saw that was like shared amongst friends on Facebook. I didn't even know really anything about it.
Story is false, but I've seen it. Like I saw it; it was shared by like 5 or 6 people on my thing. And the only reason that I know that particular tidbit is that I saw something that somebody else had posted in reference to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a tweet by a CBC reporter that was the landlord like talking to the owner on a cell phone outside the business, and he's like, yeah, I just want to, like, what's going on here? You know, people think I kicked you out. Like, you gave me your notice 2 months ago. Yeah. And he's like, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry if, that's the way that made people. He's like, well, it's just like, it's just like if people think I kicked you out when like, we had a discussion and, like, I thought
the post was like,
fine.
I'm being evicted. And
yeah. But that is a narrative that is more, and like it sucks because like obviously the world is very unjust, but it also is like a narrative that is easy to jump on.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because
can't you find a million other examples of like a landlord being a scumbag and is that I really don't think we need to fabricate those stories.
Right.
Well, no, or that's kind of
them in that way, right? Like there's got to be enough real ones that we don't need to jump on a half-assed version of that,
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard for somebody to be like, oh, if I tell people I'm getting evicted, then maybe it'll help carrying my business over to the new spot that I'm actually just moving into without anybody having an interest in the first place. Because I knew a friend who had gone in who just like did not like the guy. He was just like, no, this guy has a very bad attitude about things in life. And so it's like, if that's the kind of person that's already running it, then you're like, well, it seems like he's probably going to try to get his way out of something in a convenient and clever, interesting way, as opposed to being just noble.
Sure, yeah. Right. The only thing I know about that guy is he watches a movie every day.
Yeah, that's great.
And there are very real victims of scumbag landlords and of just the current pandemic. And it's like we were talking about earlier. There's people who are hurting, and a lot of local businesses are going to be the ones who suffer. But you know, and I'm even quite, as much as I like rent strikes and stuff like that. Maybe that is the way to go, but I'm sympathetic to landlords too, especially smaller ones. Like, they're not all kill 'em properties. There are
and he
real
doesn't
estate
live
isn't
there. That was a business
Well,
anyway, so it doesn't even fall into the
sure,
same
but I mean, just
category.
people who are property owners that lease out to.
Well, no, those people. Yeah,
Everyone's going to get screwed in some way or another, but
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
sympathetic to everyone, and I understand that real estate is an investment that comes with risks, and so that's
Yeah,
something that
exactly.
landlords need to contend with. But
Yeah, there's still a business.
A lot of people are hurting right now, and a lot of, like, I have a really great landlord, the only good landlord I've ever really had,
Yeah.
who's like a decent dude, and I don't know. I'm lucky enough that I can pay rent, so I'm going to keep paying rent, and I'm not going to make it his problem unless I have to, because he's been there for me time and time again. But I don't know. I think everybody's hurting, and a lot of landlords are sort of small businesses in a way, and people are kind of. There's a lot of them in Halifax too, and in small towns.
Yeah, we're hoping prices go down.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It is tough for everyone. I mean,
That's interesting that you say that, Ryan, because I hadn't heard. All I'd seen was basically a comment war on like one person's post about the bookshop.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the vibe that I'd gotten too.
Yeah.
And I think it is tough. I think rent. I don't know what commercial space is like here to rent, but it seems to be that it's expensive. But it's like that's how businesses have already gone out of business.
Yes, well, especially in Sackville, New Brunswick. I mean,
Thunder and Lightning.
Can't imagine, and Black Duck Cafe, and so you can sort of imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like without if the universities in smaller towns don't come back in the ways that they used to, then those students won't be there, and those towns aren't tourists. Like, at least in Lunenburg, in a way, you're right. Like, they can kind of draw people in because of the Disneyland aspect of it, but they don't have like big schools throwing money at them besides, Composite Atlantic and the electronic whatever video game company.
The art school that brings 4 students a year or whatever.
Yeah, so otherwise it's like places like Wolfville and Sackville could totally be decimated because now they don't even have people bringing money into the economy in general.
Right, and I think a lot of them are going remote until at least the end of the first semester.
Yeah, so nobody's going to be paying anything on rent, but at the same time, nobody's going to be renting spaces either if they can't afford to, which might make it easier for us to live in Halifax. But you're right, like, we're going to see a lot of like all the quirky, fun little things maybe that existed because your friends were just interested in staying sort of busy are not going to exist anymore.
Yeah, and it won't be Loblaws Corporation or Walmart who are doing like record profits, right? No, they're not going to be the ones hurting. They're like, oh, we really scraped together a little extra money to pay our frontline workers $2 extra an hour. Like,
no, exactly.
Oh, geez, really? I had to dip into my own pockets for this one.
Oh man,
I know it's going to be the places that you really want in your community that are going to be the ones that suffer.
I mean, Thunder and Lightning. We already lost Taco Pika here in St. John.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
and Men's and Molly's here in Halifax. So at least, every city's already gotten an early venue that's at least community based, and like had a lot of variety normally, and now they're just like gone off. So if anything, like we've been like, I don't know how Gus's hasn't announced anything, or Beerly's, or any of these places that are just tiny and have nothing. I don't think
because they can't have a lot of money in the bank. Like a lot of them, the nature of it must be just months keep it going. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, exactly. And like they have renters upstairs, but again, those renters are going to hang around if they don't have money and can't afford to even live there. So it'll be interesting.
I can't sleep without the grungecore bands at night downstairs.
Yeah, if anything, they're having the best time of their life up there. Like, I don't feel all my health problems are gone. It's like,
and I confess, I my first time at Men's Molly's was like in January or something, but like that it was a place that ticked a lot of boxes for, well, like just the like LGBTQ plus
for a
community,
lot of people.
heavy music, DJs, like it was a venue
spaces
that was important for a lot of different people.
Yeah, approachable venues you could book. Excuse me.
Yeah, but Gus's, and I mean this in the kindest way possible. If you're listening, Doug Gus or whatever the owner's name is,
Doug Gus.
I doubt it.
It's kind of like a cockroach. I feel like if financial woes
Invincible.
were going to shut them down, it would have happened already.
I know. It's like some mystery thing because all the other places are sort of
It's just
they're
the
invested.
eateries have to pay, that always move in and out have to pay. So, like, I don't really understand.
Who is
how
there
Gus's
now?
still there.
Is it still the taco place?
No, they moved on
No.
and moved into Lara on Agricola. Like it's funny because it's a springboard, so all the businesses don't die; they move on to another spot. So I think,
like Vandal did, and
yeah,
what the fuck was Taco
Ace Burger.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
at
like,
Taco Lina's. What?
We had Taco Lina's at Cafe Lara, and it was like in the first week that they were open. I think it was like very new, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I think
fit,
Gus has put in their own like kitchen again. Basically, they hired like a chef, and so that's why we were like, ooh, like it's like now there's nobody even paying them rent essentially, or would have been if it's their own business. So you can't imagine they had like maybe they were open 2 weeks or something before.
Well, and they used to be a restaurant, right? Like they used to run when I first moved to Halifax. They had their own kitchen. I remember some.
Gus's Pub and Grill.
Yeah, but I've never eaten their food.
No, not the original version of it, whatever it might be.
Yeah, any bar that has like carpet, generally. Not a food
place. It's a weird one. Right?
They've gotten rid of most of it, I think, or all of it.
Yeah.
It's so funny, too, because it also is the spot of, like, as somebody who plays there, you would think that they hate bands. But
they
do. No, they do.
What are you charging $5 cover for? You put it at $4 and we'll talk.
Yeah, all the time.
But you look at what they do to the space. You're like, well, they built the stage keeps getting bigger. They got that weird mural outside.
Oh yeah, and it's like amazing in so many ways, and it is like as grimy and as much as it feels like I'm ripping on it. Like I've played at Gus's so many times and love it, and love going there to see other bands. Like
same,
yeah. It's still
cheap bartenders. For a while it was like only 60+ men with gray mustaches that would serve you there.
Yeah, which is so great. And I also
it's like that and Barely's are my favorite like dive bars in Halifax.
Yeah, exactly. We might not see the dives
anymore. I love that Gus is up their game too and got like good draft beer, or because it was the tiny beers for a long time.
Yeah, that was sweet. That
it's
kept
hilarious.
It going, sure.
I think it's a good deal. I paid like $2.25 for this, but it's also like 2.5 ounces of beer.
Yeah,
like baby beer. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that is a good spot.
We'll see. Hopefully, I might have to take off soon here.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same. I think
not to suggest any. It's your show. I mean, I could just get up.
No, I know, but it's like remember, like the original idea was half hour. We're going on 2.5 hours here.
Fair enough.
It also is like I don't know. It's like. It's a work in progress and an experiment, but it's like, how interesting is our Zoom call?
yeah, exactly. At least we get to hang out and talk about something. Yeah. It's worth it that way for sure.
Well, why don't we sign off with an exclusive performance from these guys? Corey sent me the video. This is already released on the internet.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I want to see how it streams, how you pop it up.
Yeah, I found the intro thing that I made kind of was glitchy, but maybe this won't be.
We shall see.
Yeah, word. All right. Why don't we sign it off? Thanks for being here, dudes.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I'll do this any time as long as quarantine and shows and my Friday nights allow.
Yeah, I'm in kind of the same boat, and maybe we'll switch day and time too, just to kind of make it work. Anyway.
Down.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thanks for having us.
Fun for me for now. Glad hopefully fun for you guys too. All right.
Definitely. It's nice seeing you, boys.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right, so here we have Corey Eisner, Liam Fryer, and what are the brothers' last names?
Barkhouse twins.
The Barkhouse twins in an orchard. What can you tell us about this video we're about to watch?
Yeah, we shot it live last spring/summer, like that transition period in June, basically, like where it's like it feels like summer, but it's the end of spring. With Analog Songs, which is Katie Hopkins' video project based.
She's amazing.
I guess she's still Liverpool area overall, but yeah, she's wonderful.
She's up in Queens County, yeah.
Yeah, more Queens County than Liverpool for sure. And so she came and met up with us, and her friend Mark did the audio, and so it sounds really good, which is really nice for like a live. Basically, yeah, we're performing live in the center of the Elderkins apple orchard, which is part of the U-Pick farm that they have right in Wolfville. But our friends, or my friend, I guess, I don't know, maybe you don't know Lee and Dan as well as I went to school with Lee, and so her and her husband Dan, they have a house that's literally in the center of the orchard. That was just sort of a property that was like built as a part of the original apple orchard when it was like planted many years ago. And so they acquired that house and were like, yeah, you can come play in the orchard. And so we like plugged in extension cords and ran them into the orchard. And fortunately, it's like, looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, but we're not too far removed from electricity, I guess, because we're plugged in. It's all live.
Ooh. It's not battery powered.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that. All right. Fun talking to you, dudes.
You too, bud.
All right, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Hey, have a good one.
You too.
Canceled.
Yeah. Canceled.
Canceled. Let's see what happens.
Cancel Fryer.
Lady Slipper.
Lady Slipper, orchid of the wood, I haunt you more than I ever knew I could, but I knew I shouldn't. Pluck the petal and drink the fluid. Art-fearing man of the aftermath, you must be searching for a new path to wander astray, another needle in the hay. Try to find you. Mistress woman, giver of the flesh, I hold you higher than the best of what is yet to come. A new name on the tip of my tongue.